Special Edition.
Viewers, it has become a habit of the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi to undermine their own country for reasons best known to them. When India was celebrating the success of Operation Sindoor, Congress and its chief architects were busy peddling Donald Trump's lie that he brokered the ceasefire. And now in his attempt to malign the Prime Minister, Rahul Gandhi is targeting the Make in India campaign. Taking to social media platform X, the Lok Sabha LoP criticized Make in India, claiming that 80% of television in the country come from China. Adding to that, Rahul said that India is only assembling products but not manufacturing them. In fact, taking a jibe at the government, the Congress leader quipped that PM Modi is running a reliance on China scheme.
तो यहाँ पे आप इंडियन क्या है?
भैया इसके अंदर आज चलिए इसके
प्लास्टिक है,
सिर्फ प्लास्टिक है भैया यहाँ पर इंडियन
अगर आप बनाते हैं इसको या ये भी?
हाँ जी, नहीं बनाते हैं भैया। आई शो यू द मोल्डिंग मशीन से नहीं, वो इन हाउस है कंप्लीट। स्पीकर इन हाउस है,
इसका कोर सेंटर है वो चाइनीज है और फिर ऊपर प्लास्टिक का।
राइट।
डिस्प्ले चाइनीज है।
हाँ जी आप देख सकते हैं पूरा। एक बार दिखा दीजिए प्लीज।
जो एक पूरा कंप्लीटेड चाइना से आती है
ये पूरा जी।
जो
जिसे कौन सी कंपनी से खरीदते हैं?
भैया BOE से खरीदते हैं। वर्ल्ड में सिर्फ 4-5 कंपनीज हैं एंड दोज आर ऑल settled in China. And apart, if you talk about all the leading brands like LG and Samsung, nobody is manufacturing or getting a display factory in India. Everyone is getting sourced from China, nowhere else.
Why?
Because they have not invested in getting a semiconductor factory, any plan. They're all doing from China. Samsung used to have their factory. They have sold it to TCL, and TCL is from China. Now what Samsung is doing, Samsung has outsourced their TV segment to Dixon Technology. So Dixon is manufacturing whole TVs and everything through Samsung.
Everybody is China.
Absolutely.
Why has China managed to do it so?
Rahul's Make in India criticism has drawn backlash from the Bharatiya Janata Party that is accusing the Congress of supporting Chinese propaganda. The BJP has also claimed that the factory in which Rahul shot the video belonged to a Congress leader's relative. But the Grand Old Party says Rahul Gandhi has exposed Modi government's stand on China.
तो मेरा आपसे ना निवेदन है शहजादे जी, राहुल बाबा जी, आगे से जब आप किसी फैक्ट्री में जाए या आप ये प्रिटेंड का जो गेम खेलते हैं ना कि आज मैं बनूंगा मैकेनिक, आज मैं बनूंगा कारपेंटर, आज मैं इधर जाऊंगा, तो भैया मेड इन कांग्रेस वाली जगहों पे मत जाइए जो एक्चुअली में मेड इन इंडिया है, असलियत में आम जनता के वहां पे। मुझे लगता है कि कोई आपको आने नहीं देता है ना अपने वहां पर, इसीलिए आप सिर्फ मेड इन कांग्रेस वाली जगहों पे जाते हैं। तो मेड इन इंडिया पे सवाल उठाने से पहले राहुल जी, पहले मेड इन कांग्रेस के से बाहर निकलिए, अपने कार्यकर्ताओं की फैक्ट्रीज पे मत जाइए। फॉक्स स्काई टीवी, मनीष भारद्वाज, ब्रदर ऑफ डॉली शर्मा, कांग्रेस।
The BJP government must accept the reality. By banning TikTok, and they thought they wanted to send a message across that they are boycotting Chinese goods. What happened? Now there is a difference of trade of $100 billion. Can they turn blind eye? So what Rahul said is based on the facts. You see, in all houses, homes and restaurant offices, you will find that it's all China.
Joining me tonight on the broadcast are Shehzad Poonawalla, BJP's national spokesperson, Rajat Sethi, author and economist, Advocate Nikhil Jain, political analyst, as well as Dr. Santosh Mehrotra, senior economist, is joining us. Good evening and namaskar to you. Shehzad, if I start with you and I ask you your response to what Rahul Gandhi has said on India just assembling, not manufacturing, and getting products from China, what is your response to Rahul Gandhi?
Let me quote some hard facts. The Make in India story, we are the largest tractor manufacturer in the world, the second largest steel, bike and cement producer in the world, third largest in solar and wind energy. Our manufacturing output was $300 billion in 2014. It has grown by 50%. We used to import 95% of our mobile phones in 2014. Today, we build or assemble 99% of our mobile phones. We export high-end mobile phones like iPhones and Samsung. Our growth rate in manufacturing has been healthy at 5-7% last 2 years. Our FDI in manufacturing has grown by 69% compared to what it was in 2014. Our PMI index, an index that is seen for manufacturing, is at a 16-year high. Our toys imports used to be 60% dependent on China. Today, there's a 239 increase on local toys after Vocal for Local. Chandrayaan 3 ho, BrahMos ka exports or defense exports of 23,000 crores ho, Pinaka ho, Akash ho, Kamikaze drones ho. This is also a story of manufacturing in India that has taken place in the last 11 years. Have we achieved the pinnacle? Absolutely not. Nobody is saying so. But why do you need to have a made in Congress fakery to undermine a make in India story? The fact is that the gentleman that he met, like Radhika was rightly saying, is the brother of a Congress candidate Dolly Sharma. His name is Manish Bharadwaj. By the way, let me tell you about Manish Bharadwaj's story. 12th pass, doesn't matter, starts a company called Foxsky, which assembles TV sets. In 2018, takes benefits of the Modi government's entire ambience and environment created and builds a 500 crore company, by the way. All of this has been made only in the last few years. Okay. Anyways, he can say whatever he wants, but the one statement he did say was that he needs $3 billion from the government to put up a semiconductor chip factory. He wants $3 billion from the government of India. This is the level of conversation. Rahul Gandhi goes to a made in Congress person who demands $3 billion from the government of India so that he can set up a semiconductor factory. Okay. That is the extent of Rahul Gandhi's conversation with his chelas. Okay.
Dr. Mehrotra, I don't think anybody contests the fact that right now, at the moment, Taiwan and China dominate the semiconductor industry, which is the dominant material used for electronic manufacturing. But the fact of the matter is that India has been making moves towards not being dependent on China. They have made considerable progress as far as achieving that is concerned. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, let me try and restate the facts as the government's own data tells you. So, yes, of course, in absolute terms, there is always progress taking place. The real issue is, if manufacturing, as you yourself said, or was it the panelist, said that it's growing at 5 to 7% per annum, if the economy is growing at 7% per annum, that means manufacturing is growing at less than the growth rate of the economy, which is not surprising because for 25 years until 2015, the share of manufacturing in gross value added used to be 16 to 17%. It fell consistently thereafter, and it is currently standing at 15% of GDP. By contrast, China's share in global manufacturing and its share in its own total GDP is 30%. Secondly, on employment, manufacturing contribution of employment used to be in 2012 12.6%. It is, I have just been estimating this, it is now 10.5% after a revival. Please try and understand, absolute levels of manufacturing employment fell from 60 million, both organized and unorganized taken together in 2012, to 55 million in 2019. It has recovered. Now, may I finish? You have to listen to the facts. Okay, you can shut me up, of course.
I am not shutting you up, Dr. Mehrotra. I just said okay to what you're saying.
May I finish?
Yes, please. Yes, my only intervention was in saying all these figures and in giving us these figures. Would you also consider the external headwinds that came into play from around the world?
No, I don't know what headwinds you're talking about. The fact of the matter is, yes, we know COVID came, but COVID was managed extremely badly. The fact of the matter is, before COVID came, manufacturing employment had fallen, especially in labor-intensive manufacturing, and manufacturing contribution to GDP had fallen. And the person who was doing the assembling said himself, yes, 90% comes from China. What can you do? Yes, it is true, defense production has increased, but the real issue is defense production needs to increase much more. That's really the point. Okay. The real issue is jobs can only grow for the vast majority of our country's population if manufacturing grows, not if our economy continues to be dependent on services. Okay. In absolute terms, it's always rising. It always is rising.
Okay, Shehzad wants to respond to you, Dr. Mehrotra. Go ahead, Shehzad.
Let me just ask Dr. Mehrotra, without him getting agitated, just give one figure since you're so good at giving figures. What was the amount of toys that were being manufactured by India and exported in 2014 and today in 2024?
Correct.
Because toys are made by MSMEs and small sectors. Please give that.
I agree.
Please give that.
No, I agree with you.
Don't agree, quote the figures. I don't need your endorsement or your validation. I'm not a Lutyens validation seeker. Please give the figures.
Arey bhai, manufacturing of toys has improved.
Thank you very much. Now ask your favorite government, ask your favorite panelists why Congress couldn't manage it. Because they were sitting in the lap of China, signing MOUs with them, taking money in RGF, maybe perhaps some of them funneled to people who are part of the entire Congress ecosystem. And maybe you should ask them a question or two as to why every time India has a story to tell, they go and undermine the Indian story, the Indian defense story, which was celebrated during Sindoor, was undermined by Rahul Gandhi. The fact of the matter is that Chinese equipment took a bashing. The air drones, the radars, everything took a bashing. But you had Rahul Gandhi behaving like an ambassador of Chinese goods. So maybe, Mr. Mehrotra, you can spare your intellectual arrogance towards journalists and answer the question for a change.
Okay. Nikhil, you want to go ahead? Yeah. Go ahead, respond to Shehzad.
I answered it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. First of all, Shreya, I have a huge objection with the fact in the way the introduction and the package was run. Leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi has raised important points on the status of manufacturing in the country. How in any manner is that siding with China? How is that beating China's drum? That is absolutely unfair. He made two factual assertions. Assertion number one was that 80% of the components in televisions made in India are coming from China. And second, the share of manufacturing in the GDP has been the lowest in the last 60 years. Now, as a journalist, I would have expected you to either agree with that or counter that. Instead of talking about the facts, we are talking about random stray issues. Also, now let me come to what the BJP spokesperson Shehzad Poonawala talks about. He says that we are the largest manufacturer of cement. Very well. Yes, my friend, we are. You know since when? 2010. He says we are the largest manufacturer of tractors in the world. Yes, we are. You know since when? 2013. He says we are the largest manufacturer of EV panels in the world. No, we are not. And we are not even the second largest in the world, and EV panel manufacturing started in India way before Modi ji came into power. He himself agrees that we are broadly assembling mobile phones in India and not building entire value chains and the entire supply chain of the product, where I agree with him. He talks about and he talks about defense exports. Let me remind him that India has been making defense exports since 1959. We exported our first warship in 2013. We started exporting military helicopters in 2004. My friend, this country has been running long before Modi. It will run long after Modi. 2014 में इंडिपेंडेंस नहीं हुई थी, and जिस डिफेंस एक्सपोर्ट्स की आप आज बात कर रहे हैं HAL and ISRO से, they again were made during the Congress era. What this government has done is just bank and bask on the schemes and the achievements of the previous governments, which I would include Atal Bihari Vajpayee. And the last figure that is the most important for this particular discussion that we're having. India's share of manufacturing in the GDP, it remained between 15 to 16% from the year 1991, economic liberalization, till 1999. Then during the Vajpayee government, it hovered between 14 to 15%. During the UPI era, it hovered between 15 to 17%. And after the double blow of demonetization and GST, it has been constantly going down. The latest figure is 12.5%. And as Dr. Mehrotra has already pointed out, China works in the neighborhood of 25 to 30%. Now I can, and the last thing, Make in India का खुद का logo Germany में बना था यार. The logo of the Make in India campaign was
why your leader is, even so then I can say that one of your leaders is made in Italy. That is not an argument. Now the argument is, Mr. Nikhil Jain, please tell me, since you quoted.
I'm talking about manufacturing, not about leader.
That's good, sir. You can outsource even your leadership to Beijing, sir. That's all right. Now please listen to me. Nikhil Jain ji, can you please tell me the figure of our defense exports prior to 2014 and our figure of our defense exports today? And can you please enlighten me as to what was the profits that HAL was making in 2013? How much profit was it in at that time, and what profit levels is that at now? Please, Mr. Nikhil Jain, please elaborate. Everything Nehru ji did, Nehru ji has created India, Nehru ji created the world from his wind. Now you please tell me that HAL का profit क्या था और defense exports क्या था? बताइए. सब कुछ नेहरू जी ने किया, मैंने मान लिया.
I will tell the figures right away before, right after you apologize for lying to the viewers of Times Now when you do not give them the right facts. When you say that we are the largest cement manufacturer, when we are the second largest.
Let the views of Times now decide that. You answer the question.
No,
what was the
We are not the
difference?
largest manufacturer of
let
PV
him
panels.
debate
We are
now.
not even the second largest. You lied.
Go ahead, Nikhil, go ahead.
Continue with your data.
Are you going to first admit that you were wrong? No. Shreya,
About
I want to
what?
ask him, is he going to apologize for misleading your viewers or not?
About what?
India is not the largest TV panel manufacturer. India
I did
is
not
not
say this.
ahead
Where
of
is he
China
getting
in
this
cement
from?
manufacturing.
I
India
have
became
not
the
said
largest
this
tractor
word.
manufacturer before the Modi government.
I have not said this. You are imagining something
Very
I said
well,
and
then
then
I
saying
don't
I'm
have
wrong
an
on it.
answer to
Okay.
it, my friend.
Stop manufacturing lies like Rahul Gandhi. That's the only thing you can manufacture.
Very well.
G7 का invite नहीं आया, LIC डूब गया, SBI
what
डूब
is the
गया,
trade of
रफाल में
manufacturing
भ्रष्टाचार
in the
हुआ,
GDP right now?
Saudi का work
Nikhil
visa
Jain.
cancel हो गया. Stop manufacturing lies, Nikhil, with your leader. That is
Nikhil,
what I asked.
you know, while you make these points, can I also understand from you why Rahul Gandhi
TDS
couldn't
Anil
just
Chauhan
mention
is
the
lying.
fact that,
Plain
you know,
that is something the
there
simple
is
said.
reliance on China as far as electronic manufacturing is concerned. And it's not just India, it's across the world. China is a crucial factor in that supply chain. Nobody is denying that, but there are actions being taken to move away from that as well. Why couldn't Rahul Gandhi just mention and appreciate that fact when he posted about, 80% television sets being manufactured in China? You can just appreciate the fact that your country is making that
Shreya, you
move
said actions are
of
being
not
taken.
being
Can you please
reliant on
enlighten
China.
me and your viewers with the actions?
Sorry,
Shreya,
what could you
very
repeat
well.
yourself?
I think I need to be enlightened with what actions are the government taking? What actions are the government
The
taking
government
to
has
change
taken
our
decisions
dependence
of
on China
making
for
sure
electronics and a whole
semiconductor
bunch of
industries
other
are
things?
opened in this country.
Has a single plant opened?
What
And
did you
our
do for
semiconductor
60
is the
years?
only thing?
Can you please
At
tell
least
me
there
how,
is a move
how many
that has been made,
semiconductor
Nikhil
chip
Jain.
manufacturing setups were
Earlier, there
done by
was
you
no
in
move
60 years?
towards that manufacturing semiconductors in this country, even thought of. But Rajat Sethi wants to come in, and then I'll let you respond, Nikhil Jain. Rajat, go ahead.
Shreya, in the 11
Well, I have waited for 15, 17 minutes now. Please allow me to make my points.
Yeah.
See, Rome was not built in a day. It takes a lot of concerted effort to get mega projects like electronics manufacturing in place in any country. You remember in 2018, President Trump literally dragged the Foxconn executives to come to Ohio and set up a factory there. And he said, I'm going to roll the red carpet. Go back and check what has happened in Ohio after almost 7-8 years now. Nothing, not even the land has been allocated. And look at how the US policies are unfolding. They are desperate to set up those plants, and they're unable to do with all the capital, all the might that they can muster. So the point is that it is incredibly hard. You require hundreds of things to work in tandem to make it work. And it is not going to happen overnight. It will take concerted time. And also, let me tell you, for a fairly long time, startups were not part of any government tendering process. How do you start an enterprise when you don't even have an entry into the system? The startup policy was brought in not just to distribute certificates. It was brought in with the amendments on the GFR rules where the tendering entities could allow the startups to come in and bid without having the prior experience. Can you imagine how much amount of fight one has to do with the system to allow the startups to come in? In Operation Sindoor, you've seen it is all indigenous and indigenized technologies which helped and came to our rescue. Even going forward, you will see that in our defense, it is going to be these capabilities, these drones, these air defense systems, which we are developing indigenously, which will come to our rescue, not America, not China, no other body. So therefore, my point is that this ecosystem to build requires time. You need to have patience, you need to have the right set of policies, and you need to give a gestation period also. It is not like you need to turn a switch on and suddenly you will see electronics plant to come up. It doesn't work like that. Only people who have zero understanding of how systems work can claim that. Second point is said that why is India only manufacturing and assembling and not manufacturing? So how do you jumpstart into a sector? You need to understand what is going in. How can India gradually start looking at its comparative advantage, cost-wise, access to the raw materials, all of those building blocks to start taking one baby steps in that direction. Without taking those baby steps, how do you assume that all of a sudden we will have all these skills required to set up a complex process such as electronics manufacturing?
Okay.
See, the real problem is that people in the opposition need to wake up to the degrees of complexities. You have certain state governments like Karnataka and Telangana. Let them lead by example. Right now, what is the electronics manufacturing status in the state of Telangana? What has the Telangana government done to bring and increase the degrees of manufacturing as a percentage of state GDP?
Okay, Shehzad wants to make a point, Rajat, and then quickly Nikhil will respond. Yeah.
You know, since the government of Modi has come, there are 4 major semiconductor units which have been approved, and they are already in the stage of going ahead and delivering the chips in some time from now. Can you please tell me, Mr. Nikhil Jain, semiconductor chips have been around for a long time. Can you please tell me how many projects were set up in the 60 years of Congress? I'll give you the names because you won't believe me. There is the Tata PSMC, there's the Tata Semiconductor Assembly and Test TSAT, there's CG Power, and there's Micron Technology. This is under Modi. Now you tell me what under the great Nehru, चलो नेहरू को तो छोड़ ही दो, आप इंदिरा गांधी और राजीव गांधी के समय से और मनमोहन सिंह के समय में कितना किया? आप मेरा मुंह बंद करा दो या आप you can take phone a friend from Mr. Mehrotra. Yes sir.
नहीं नेहरू जी के समय तो स्मार्टफोन भी नहीं बन पा रहे थे।
तो ठीक है, नेहरू जी को डिस्काउंट कर दो, बोलो कि what has been done under Rajiv and Sonia and Manmohan Singh. Please tell me.
I wasn't interjecting.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I wasn't interjecting. Yes, let me tell you what was done. Yes. Thank you so much. During Nehru, we set up ISRO. We set up the AIMS. We set up the IIMs. We set up the IITs. These things became the incubators for the later development that happened during further governments. During Indira Gandhi, all banks were nationalized, which helped us to take rural banking to the people. During Rajiv Gandhi, we brought in computers. During Narasimha Rao, we had liberalization. During Indira Gandhi, we had conducted first set of nuclear tests. During Atal Bihari Vajpayee, we conducted a second set of nuclear tests. During Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, we started taking nuclear material from, we became a part of the NSG. We did that NSG deal. Then we launched our first Chandrayaan mission. During the UPA government, during the first Chandrayaan, during the UPA government, the first Mangalyaan during the UPA government, HAL set up during Nehru's time. The defense exports started during Nehru's time, really took off during Manmohan Singh's time. And my good friend Rajat Sethi talks about the fact that during Operation Sindoor, we only had indigenized weapon systems. I don't know what he's talking about. S-400 was our biggest saving grace. That was from Russia. We perhaps used the Rafale fighter jets. They're from France. We perhaps used the Sukhoi fighter jets. They're from Russia.
Okay, Nikhil, you've listed out everything.
Except for the question, semiconductor units in the last 15-20 years of Congress governments prior to 2014. Just that much. And please tell me the component dependency of China when you were manufacturing TV sets. The 3 or 4 outlets that were manufactured.
Okay, Rajat, quickly make your point.
Semiconductors did not come about in the year 1800s.
This is the heights of absurdity that you can imagine only from a Congress supporter. When we all were, proud that we could see Anant Technologies missiles landing into Pakistan and those images circulating in the social media of Pakistan, we were proud that a Hyderabad entity could get up and do something like that. And this person who is absolutely arrogant and has zero knowledge comes on national television and blabbers. Come on, sir, do some basic education before you have the audacity to come in and challenge our innovators in our country.
Okay. I have to wrap this up here.
बक करवा लो इनसे. आज तक एक ढेले भर का मैन्युफैक्चर किया इन्होंने.
Okay, fine. Let's leave it there. I have to wrap this up here. Shehzad, Nikhil Jain, Dr. Mehrotra, as well as Rajat Sethi, thank you very much to all of you for joining us and sharing your thoughts. With that, viewers, it's a wrap on this broadcast. News and updates will continue on Times Now. Thanks very much for joining us tonight.